Welcome to Empowered to Grow, the podcast. I am your host, Hanan El Basha, the business doctor. Following our conversations with empowered women who woke up one day and consciously claimed, I am more than enough, I am worthy, I am empowered to grow. And along their empowering journey towards realizing their own potential and their quest for growth, they became a beacon of hope and guidance for others. May you also find your inner power to grow. Hello, everyone. This is your host, Hanan El Basha, and we come again with another, I know for sure, amazing episode of Empowered to Grow podcast. My friend, my dear friend, who we bonded over coffee and quotes to start with, who's also a fellow alumni of my university, the American University in Cairo, and who's an amazing woman on so many levels. Nehal El Guindy, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me, Hanan. It's my pleasure, honestly.
Thank you. Well, Nehal is a clinical counselor, actually. She didn't start that way, but that's one of parts of her journey that she will be telling us a bit more about. And one of her passions, which I guess is another level of why we bonded, was and is in women empowerment. So she works with a lot of women. She works at the university, of course. So she works with students, graduates and undergraduates, but she has a passion for women empowerment, living in the States. She's also worked with a lot of races, ethnicities, and religions. And she knows that we've got the power within us. So, Nehal, welcome. Welcome to our discussion.
Thank you, Hanan.
Thank you. So, okay, I sent you saying, Nehal, I started my podcast. It's called Empowered to Grow. Please come and be my guest. What came to your mind when I told you it's Empowered to Grow? What does that mean for you?
All right, let's do this, Hanan. That's what came to my mind, because I think part of my kind of mission in life is to empower women and kind of walk with women. So when you first said that, I was like, all right, let's kind of get this out there, see how we're going to give or help or from our journey, from my journey. So that's what really came to my mind when you first said empowerment. And I was like, all right, that's down my alley.
Yeah, I know.
So
from that perspective, actually, then you've got your own empowerment journey. So would you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, my empowerment journey, I think, started, I want to say it started when I was around 35. I'm turning 50 now, so it's been almost 15 years. But then now that I'm talking about this, I think it started from right when I got out of college, because every step of the way leads you to empowerment.
Yes.
You might not see it, but it is there. So what I thought the 15 years before, or whatever, how many years before, was not part of my empowerment journey, but it actually, come to think of it now, it is.
Yeah.
Because when you reach that point and you say, I need to do something about this, all the events leading to that was part of it. So I think it started when I was around 35. And that typically, what I have seen, is the turning point for women in that age group from 35 to 40. So that's their mid kind of, it's like, where am I going? What have I been doing? What do I want?
Yes.
What's my mission? What's my calling? What's my purpose? Where is my passion? And I graduated from AUC with an economics major that I did nothing with. And I'm like, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to go back into that? And so my empowerment kind of started there with the questioning and the kind of awareness of myself, of who I am, and what I want to be. And there was a lot of frustration. There's a lot of
Yes.
anger. There's a lot of questioning. There's a lot of just, okay, now what?
Hmm.
And so
But
that
that's also part of the journey.
that's definitely part of the journey.
Hmm.
And it hasn't been easy at all.
Of
It's
course.
been very difficult. And I think the turning point also was when I started my 40s.
Hmm.
So this last decade, I
The
should be
powerful
turning
decade, the 40s.
I should be turning 50 in November, but I'm like, this was the decade of empowerment, the decade of change, the
Sure.
decade of, you know, like, um, I don't know, just discovery, exploration.
Yes.
So that's what I have been kind of doing. I went into counseling and went back to college, got my master's, became licensed, and it was also a struggle because I was just moving from country to country,
Hmm.
and I was persistent to continue that. And I started my own private practice right off the bat as soon as I got out of college, and then just started. Um, I think it's a lot of self-actualization. That's what it
True.
is.
Yes, that's true.
Um, so and discovering yourself,
Hmm.
and a lot of self-love as a
Definitely.
as an offshoot of empowerment. I think
Yes.
that's primary, like, how am I going to love myself more in this equation?
Hmm.
So that was also part of the journey of empowerment, and just uh, and it still continues. I mean, I see myself in my 50s still continuing to
Yeah.
discover, to explore, and to just keep empowering myself in that journey. So
And I think that's a beautiful thing about it. I mean, I know that now research is kind of proving that 35 is the age of where our brains fully mature. It is also, I feel that's why when I was smiling when you said 35, because I realized that I could really, really come from like genuinely serve women from the
mhm,
ages of 35 onwards,
yeah,
because I think that is a pivotal time in our lives that,
mhm,
you're at least 10, 15 years out of university.
yeah,
Mostly, the typical, if we're going with a typical scenario, you're married, you've got the kids and stuff, and that
yeah,
is the age where they start becoming independent, and you start freeing up your space and your capacity in terms of who am I and what do I want and now what. And
yeah.
that's where the questioning starts. And it's not like the typical or the stereotypical midlife crisis of let me go get a sports car and get my hair
A bike.
and kind of and get
Let
my
me grab
hair,
a
like, dye my hair pink or something. It's not that. It is the beautiful sprouting of the self-discovery and self-actualization journey of now what. I still got, and I think there's also the realization of I've still got a few decades left in me, and
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to enjoy them, but I want them on my own terms. Now I've finished everyone's terms. Thank you very much for your checklist. It's
Yes.
done. Like, kind of
Yeah.
let me leave that behind and
Yeah.
let me start really finding out who I am.
Yeah. It's I think I can say it's me time.
Yes.
So, and that also goes back to the concept of what is a woman's role in society,
Yes.
and that goes back to culture.
Yes.
And a lot of us were raised, my generation, a lot of us were raised, your role is mother, 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 mother. Okay.
Yeah.
And or daughter,
Yeah.
between your
Or
wife
wife,
or
or
wife.
a career
Okay.
woman, or you
So
have you
mother,
have to
daughter,
be
wife,
something. Yeah.
sister, whatever. But then you come to realize it's like, okay, I've given so much. Now what? When is it going to be me? When
Yeah.
am I going to put myself up on top?
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
am I going to move up that ladder in that list of priorities?
Yeah.
And actually, it goes both ways, not just for women, for men as well.
Yeah. That's true.
Um, but but we're talking about women right
Yeah.
now, and that is a cultural mindset that you have to give your life, you have to sacrifice, you have to compromise who you are, or not even just kind of you've been put in a mold, in a role mold, and that's what you kind of are confined to.
Yeah.
But then at that age group, and I want to tell you, when you say, oh, I need to kind of target, I can target the 35 plus, actually, I would say target from even before.
25. Yes, that's true. I
Because,
started actually doing that. I had conversations with a, like now for some of surgeries, and I don't know, the universe is just sending me the messages, but I started having conversations both with both genders at the ages of 17 to 19.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like, that is an amazing time, because
yeah,
I want to positively impact their trajectory in life without
right,
imprinting on them. Of course, being
yeah.
very conscious of what I'm imprinting, because I felt, oh my God, I'm like, I'm scared to do this. But it is that, it's like just planting those, I keep talking about the positive mindset seeds, and just planting these seeds of, you are empowered. It is your life. You can create anything you want for you. Just be conscious of it, love yourself, prioritize yourself, and go after your goals. So that is a beautiful age. And then there's the 25 of, okay, I'm starting to work now, and do I feel comfortable here or not? I think every age group comes, of course, with a lot of them, the questions.
Right.
And you do need at every stage the people who can give you not answers, but give you guidance, because answers means you're telling them what to do. And I don't think it's anyone's role in anyone's life to tell people what to do. I mean, I'm even conscious of that as a parent now. I'm like, okay, I wanted him to follow my footsteps, be the A student all the way. And like the other day, he was like, I don't want to take a dog. What? I don't want to be a doctor like you. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to, by the way.
Yeah.
But at least go for your college education. And then you can decide, and even if you go through that and you realize that's not what you want, go for what you want. But at least, why? Because that is a foundation. So you're able to think, to read, to write, to analyze, and then beyond that, see what you want to do with it. You want to go, like, of course, now it's all about Fortnite, but regardless, I hope that phase will pass. You want to go into gaming, just understand what it is. But now it's for me, because exactly as you were saying, that I was in those shoes, but I didn't get to be in those shoes of questioning who I am and what do I want at 35. I got it just before turning 40, and just about earning my doctorate degree. And that's when I started questioning, who am I? What do I want? Where do I go from here? But realizing that it goes back to 35. So I'm like, okay, let me offer the most guidance to the ladies starting at 35, and 35 actually to 55, because they're still in that phase of, okay, especially, they become empty nesters and that kind of thing. It's like, really, now what do I want to do? And have I fulfilled my purpose in life? And have I found my mission? And I don't know. I should be happy. I should be grateful, but I'm not. And I feel guilty about it. I'm like, okay, let's go back. Let's reel back a couple of decades.
Yeah, it definitely starts from early on. And I think the generation, because I work mainly with that population, the 20 plus, it's a totally different generation than what we grew up with, culturally across the board. So I see from different cultures, and they have, what I see, they have a one up from us. They're fast forwarding. They are, they're much more empowered at that younger age than we ever were.
They're a lot more exposed as well, which I think that is a factor.
I was about to say, the internet and the connections, communications, that I think just kind of did a fast forward for them. And I look and I say, wow, had I known.
That is my question. That is my next question to you.
You guys are good.
That is actually my next question to you. What advice would you impart on your 19-year-old self now?
I think it would be, know yourself so much better. Had you known yourself better, had you taken the time, I mean, there are no regrets.
No.
But had you taken the time, had you had the power to say no.
Mm.
Had you kind of stood up for yourself. I think those are the things that I have now that I didn't have then. And that I think is what I would say to my younger self. And
Very powerful.
yep.
But then again, as you said, no regrets, because you wouldn't be who you are today hadn't you gone through your journey as is.
Absolutely.
So if we fast forward your journey, then what, coming back from a time capsule, what would your 90-year-old self thank you for?
Oh, geez. I don't, 90?
90? Yes. Yes.
90.
I am that
Oh my
person who thinks of the
God.
90 and the 100. We're going to be centennials.
Thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for taking care of my body. Thank you for taking care of your soul, my soul. Thank you for surrounding me with the people that I love and love me. Thank you for generously giving and loving, and just thank you for a life well lived. I wasn't just here, just alive. No.
To exist, yeah.
I'm not here to just exist. I am here to live and to laugh. And thank you for giving me that that place and that space to do that.
I love that. And I think one of the things that you do, which is beautiful, because when you're saying that, the thank yous back from your 90-year-old self, I know you're an avid hiker and
yes.
which I think is amazing.
Thank you for taking me on those trips.
Exactly. I mean, you said taking care of your soul, and I think that is a beautiful way of taking care of your soul. I missed out on that. I am missing out on that. I'm hoping one day I'll end up in a place where I can actually do that. The hiking and the nature and the connection and stuff. But I think that is also a beautiful connection, because that makes you take care not only of your soul and your body and your psyche generally, you know, being exposed in that way and going forward.
Actually, I learned so many of my empowerment lessons from the mountains and from my hiking. And I think that there was a pivotal point in my life. I had gone to, my daughter was in a medical mission there in Peru, in Lima.
Wow.
And I went to visit her for 2 weeks, and we decided to do Machu Picchu. And there's the other mountain, which is Huayna Picchu. And it's a very, very steep set of stairs. You go up, you're holding on for dear life. There's only one bar, which is like a metal kind of rope that you kind of hold on to, and then you just got a cliff beside you, and it's damp, and you're just kind of going up those steps. It took us 2 hours going up and about another hour and a half to go down. And that was pivotal for me, because every time I wanted to give up and it was too much, I was not prepared, I was not in a physical kind of place, and I was going up, I kept pushing myself and challenging myself, and I went to the top and I got there. And that was I reflected on that. And from that day on, that's what I took with me, never to give up and to keep challenging yourself. I keep challenging myself all the time. And it's like my adrenaline. And that's what you do in life. And so I learned so much from the mountains. And just like I've hiked in the desert, I've hiked in the what is it called, the Amazon kind of tropical
rainforest
kind of rainforest jungle. I've different terrains, And each one has given me a different lesson.
That's amazing.
And so that has also kind of nature. I connect with nature. It revives my soul. And I find my answers from there as well. So I go looking for answers. So.
And as soon as travel opens up, I'm going to come over for one of those.
I'm dying here, not going.
So to kind of sum up, you're on a stage, you're talking to tens of thousands of women. And well, the talk is about being empowered to grow. What would be that last message you leave them with?
Love yourself. And it doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you are giving yourself a life that only you can define. And to make that your mission of how you're going to love yourself more. Because when you do that, everything falls into place.
True. That's very true. I love that. Where can our listeners find you in virtual space?
I'm everywhere.
How can they connect? I'm going to put the links anyway in the episode notes, but I'd like you to say them as well.
I'm on email, I'm on phone, I'm on text, I'm on the different AUC groups. I'm on, I have this little kind of group for empowerment, quote on a cup, a coffee group. And
that's on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Facebook and Instagram. Instagram has been a little slow for me, but mainly on Facebook. And I'm here, just reach out to me, whoever would want to connect. I'm always here to give and to help.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us your energy and your time and sharing. I love
this.
I loved our discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Guys, I know you're going to get a lot of value out of this, so I'm not going to talk more. She's already, she's amazing. And this is, well, most probably we're not ending our conversation here, but we're going to end this part of our conversation. Stay tuned. Always remember, empowered you empowers others. Love, abundance, and prosperity to you all. Thank you for listening to the Empowered to Grow podcast. For further engagement with a tribe of empowered women, join my Facebook group, Empowered to Grow, or visit my website, www.hananelbasha.com. I'll catch you on the next episode. And until then, know that empowered you empowers others. Love, abundance, and prosperity to you all.